Will drip live forever? Let's talk about that in this video. But first, please Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button. So you got the original drip website, drip.community, which apparently is controlled by BB. He's got Wallet Connect up there, and he's got a link for Triple D. You can see the similarities between drip and the bank flow, the bankroll flow. And so you can see basically a lot of the same, basically the exact same logos, and the faucet is pretty much the same as the flow. A lot of people know that. There's nothing new there. Why did I bring that up? Just to highlight that that's one thing that it just shows that it was a fork of flow, and it did last longer. And right now the price isn't popping up here. I have Trust Wallet, so I need to use Wallet Connect, and that doesn't work on the new website. That's another thing. And if you go over to dripnetwork.ca, you can see the stats. Right now the claims, hydrates, and deposits are down. You can see that Deck Screener's got the price at about 4.6 cents. Not a lot of volume, 3.2 thousand sell volume, $954 buy volume. But one thing to think about is an article, DeFi Risks and the Decentralization Illusion. Decentralized finance is touted as a new form of intermediation in crypto markets. The key element of the ecosystems are novel, automated protocols on blockchains to support trading, lending, and investment of crypto assets, and stablecoins that facilitate fund transfers. There's a decentralization illusion in DeFi since the need for governance makes some level of centralization inevitable, and structural aspects of the system lead to a concentration of power. If DeFi were to become widespread, its vulnerabilities might undermine financial stability. These can be severe because of high leverage, liquidity mismatches, built-in interconnectedness, and the lack of shock absorbers such as banks. Existing governance mechanisms in DeFi would provide natural reference points for authorities in addressing issues related to financial stability, investors, protection, and illicit activities. So in some level, I agree with this. So I don't know, maybe you know more, but you got people that control this website where you can interact with a contract. If these websites were taken offline, is there any way you'd be able to interact with a contract without these buttons? So someone controls these. You got trust in them, so it's not completely trustless. They might be outstanding people. Somehow they could have their website URL taken, stolen, hacked. And so there is a level of that being centralized. And so I think one reason why Drip will struggle is the fact that Ray is such a vocal part. I think Ray's a double-edged sword. He's making lots of videos, and there's a lot of people that are maybe coming on board because of him, but he also is calling people that think differently than him meth heads. And also, when I brought up that Twitter poll about whether he should be removed as an admin, someone said, "Oh, he can't. He's the owner." And I looked it up, and he's not the owner. I'll show you that right here. So right here, you can see the admins of the Drip chat, and you can see Ray Bartertown, and then Forex Shark owner. So he's not the owner of that. Maybe Forex lost access to it because I know he spends a lot of time in Stunner's Telegram. But so Ray runs it like it's his Telegram and not the community's Telegram. I think he makes decisions that's what he feels is the best, which isn't necessarily the best thing for the overall community. And when you have someone like that, that's one of the faces that doesn't actually show their face of the community, that labels people meth heads. And so you have people like Drip Coach who's he's calling out activity. You might think that that's negative, but when you have Ray saying that you shouldn't have this type of referral strategy, but he's also doing that. Okay, if he never told people what to do and he could do whatever he wants, there'd be less criticism. But when he's saying one thing and doing another, and then he's also labeling people like Drip Coach meth heads, and there's always should be a level of critical thought in any project, and no one's worked harder putting out drip content than Drip Coach. Look at that. As far as I know, pretty much, outside of, I don't know, every video I've seen is drip related. and he's got over 1,100 videos. And I think he started about February of 2022, I believe, somewhere around there. And so he's been cranking out a couple videos, or maybe 3 videos a day for over a year. And there's a lot of substance. So I'm not going to criticize Crypto King too much here, but when you look at Crypto King's videos, there's not a whole lot of substance there. You can go back and he's talking about how Drip's going to 100x and Drip's going to go from $2.38 to $238. You go and look at a lot of what Drip Coach is saying. Look at all the research he took to look up wallets and stuff, and you might not agree with him, and you might think that that's wrong for the community, but that took a lot of effort. And so Crypto Kings is not putting a lot of effort into his videos. He's positive, and that's why people come to him, or they're coming there for entertainment. And so he's got more subscribers than me, so who am I to talk? But in the end, if you look at it realistically, he doesn't have a lot of depth to what he's saying. He's just saying this is going to be bullish. Forex Shark's going to do this. Scratchy's going to do that. Triple D's going to do this. We're going to 100x. And everything fits into his narrative that everything's going to about ready to go parabolic or something. And then he's spicing in some of his life. But you look at a lot of Drip Coach, he'll be talking about, like something about leadership. And he'll have a lot of different things to reference in terms of what makes a good leadership, or he'll look up wallets. That's just a few examples, and he's got a lot of depth in his video, and there's a lot of chicken on that bone. So I think too is when you look at, is Binance Smart Chain decentralized, exploring BCA's centralized nature? If you look at this, you can see the cost of running a validator is like 10,000 BNB at the time of this article. And so that's like a couple $1 million. And there's only 66 accounts that have over 10,000 BNB. So in contrast, Ethereum just requires 32 Ethereum. Avalanche requires 1,000 AVAX. So it shows that you have to have only a few people with a lot of money can be a BNB validator. And it's also showing that there's really not that many validators. What's more interesting, that only 21 of the 26 total validators are chosen to validate blocks on voting power every 24 hours. So BNB and probably Binance probably controls most of those validators. So really, BNB is not centralized. And I'm just bringing this back that, that basically Drip was just a fork of Flow. And it went over 2 years. And like I said before, in DeFi, it's like dog years. Drip's like 15, 20 years old. And, a lot of projects, and most projects in crypto, maybe almost all of them, maybe all of them will have a shelf life. I mean, is it going to be the year 3000 and people using Ethereum and Bitcoin? So even some of those big projects. And so you look at the fact that there is an allusion to DeFi. Binance is not decentralized. It's got very few validators. It takes a lot of money to run it, and it's nowhere near as decentralized as Ethereum or Cardano or Bitcoin. That's just the reality. You got people trying hard in the community, pumping out a lot of video with a lot of depth and intellectual content that'll be labeled just a fudster or FUD coach or a meth head. And that person that is calling people meth heads and promoting that kind of name-calling behavior is the leader for the Telegrams, and those should be community-run projects. So to me, it shows that Forex Shark is only interested in going on and doing AMAs with people that want to pat him on the back and let him ramble on for his monologue for a lot of time. Now it's going to be interesting. Drip Coach and Driptopian are having a conversation, so I think that's going to be good. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. See, I think if Forex went on Drip Coach, I think Drip Coach would be respectful. Even if he kind of asked him a couple hardball questions, he would still do it in a respectful manner, and it'd be more of a conversation. Most of these voice chats or AMAs are just Forex rambling on forever. So an honest to God conversation with someone that has a little bit of critical thought would be good. Now, that's my 2 cents. Who knows? You can see the tax vault is leaking back down, and I just starting to question right now, like, what is money? The one point on earth there was no money. Now there's a bunch of money. There's a bunch of debt. Money's changed over time. Just interesting about Bitcoin. It's the most powerful computer network, doing 209 quintillion calculations per second. What's that mean? You got someone in the Space Force that had to have their book taken down, Jason Lowery, the software book, that's basically saying that you need to project power physically into cyberspace, and Bitcoin could be that, because it could be a global computer network that no one country or group can take down. So if you want to project your power there, then you need to really be buying up Bitcoin and mining Bitcoin. Just interesting. It's making me question how I view cryptocurrencies and what they bring to the table. So I kind of rambled on a little bit, went off in a few different directions. Let me know what you think about any aspect of what I said. And, hopefully something cool happens. I'm kind of skeptical, but I'd be glad to be wrong. Thanks for watching and have a good day.